Of course, I have a little bit of nerves. I'm more really excited to get out there and just test what I've been working on. We were rolling in practice, and my opponent was trying to pass my guard. I ended up taking his knee to my right temple. There were definitely moments that I didn't think in my concussion recovery that I would be returning to competition. I guess I even considered for like a millisecond, nanosecond, not doing jiu-jitsu anymore. When you have a child, you expect that you're going to parent actively. And having my daughter decide to leave and live really far away devastated me.
It never had to do with anything like relationship-wise. Like, her and I have always had a good relationship. Me and my dad have always had a good relationship. It was just like, I have to live with one parent or the other. And it was that point that I felt like I wanted to live with my dad.
The most important thing to me was to make sure that she never felt guilty for choosing one parent over another, because none of it was her fault. It was a very, very dark time, and you know, the interesting part about it is that society isn't kind to mothers who don't have their children. So there's a lot of judgment or presumptions that can happen, I think, in a situation like that. Because I think when most marriages fall apart, the assumption is that the mother has the child. So that part was pretty hard. Jiu-jitsu filled a huge void. It wasn't at all what I thought it would be, and once I got into it, I realized that, you know, it's okay to be that close to another human, and it wasn't as scary at all as it looked, and it was crazy empowering. So I just, from that time, was totally hooked on it. A few years ago, actually, I set the goal for myself that I wanted to go and compete at World Masters.
Good, you're out. Get up. Get up. Trip towards her, face her, face her, face her.
When I got to silver, the first year I went to World Masters, the one thing that I sort of left there with was I'm in the right place. Like, I belong here. I can compete at this level and succeed. I
I like coming in on Sundays because it's nice and quiet, and you know, there's space to sort of be here and just move around. Even just returning back to the club was difficult at first. I mean, part of it was sort of a mixed bag of emotions because it was going to be some time before I could even start to train properly.
There were a whole bunch of psychological and emotional pieces that I sort of crashed into and had to deal with before I could keep going physically. And that took me by surprise. So, you know, I didn't anticipate having to figure things out mentally and sort of face some of those fears that were pretty huge and aggressive.
When she told me she had a concussion, I didn't actually realize how serious it was at first. She kind of downplayed it. I realized how long it was taking her to recover, and it freaked me out. Like, I wish I could have been here to take care of her and like help her through it and everything.
So just out here at Presqu'île Park, going for a crisp walk in the snow, getting some fresh air. It's a great way to sort of clear my head. The goal of competing again was kind of a motivating factor, and it really helped push me, especially, you know, during the recovery process. And I'm a goal-driven person. I need a concrete thing to say, I want that, and here's how I'm going to get there.
Of course, I have a little bit of nerves, but I'm more really excited to get out there and just test what I've been working on. This is a hard video log. It's the morning after, and yesterday didn't go as planned. It just sucks. It sucks to lose. I really wanted this outcome to be different.
I was super frustrated being in bottom half like that and not being able to reverse it properly. And I kind of blanked out. The longer I was under there, I think the more I got discouraged. And, you know, I never gave up, but I also felt like this is probably the worst spot I could be in. My first reaction when the buzzer went and the ref called it, I was really disappointed. So just like a really deep sort of sinking feeling in my stomach of just like, just frustration, you know, yeah, just really deep frustration. And, you know, for a moment, just feeling like that was a lot of effort for 5 minutes and losing.
Fall down 7 times, stand up 8 is a Japanese proverb that refers to recovering from failure and adversity. So the more times you actually fail and come back from it, the more you're going to be able to do it easier the next time it happens. And it's in all areas of our life.
When Mia came back to live with me, at first it seemed super surreal. For me, I feel like it's very important to role model behaviors that I'd like her to emulate.
Taking all of, I guess, the negative energy from all of the pain that she's experienced throughout the years and putting it into jiu-jitsu is a huge inspiration.
When I reflect back on the whole thing, right? So when I reflect back on losing year one and then coming back and being sort of, up high, and then like literally having life like knock me in the head. Everything that it took to not only get back up, but get back up and get back in the ring, I guess, like figuratively and physically. It's very satisfying. Knowing that I have the capacity to just keep breathing through things and keep moving forward. I know that what I put forward was a great training camp. It was a great effort on a number of levels: diet, mental, exercise, drilling, technique, all of those things. But the most important piece was the rising up again. Anybody who's having, a super tough time, or has fallen down, or has suffered a failure, or suffered a loss, or something that's a huge disappointment, they need to look it right in the face, accept it, and then move forward, because that's all there is. That's all there is.